In a world of followers, why are you deciding or actively choosing to idolize a leader or idol worship? Wouldn't your efforts be better spent on yourself and learning? Why not choose to experiment on yourself rather than give that power to someone else? In the context of bodybuilding, this might mean appealing to authority figures like the industry for all of your info. You know the people, I know the people, you watch them, I watch them. Do you actually take all their info and advice without a grain of salt? I'm attempting to get you to a place of self sufficiency, if you so choose. You may choose to still offer up your mind on a platter to some individuals. This is where you might be making a grave mistake. I want to take a minute and differentiate what it means to try out different programmings for learning's sake versus program hopping or trying things because they're a fad or your latest, greatest favorite new person dropped some wacky ebook. That's what I want to differentiate, okay? Because there is a difference. Now, if you have done your own mental research, and let's say for the video's sake, you're a novice or you're just starting, there's so many things you could be doing. There's so many programs to run. There's strong lift starting strength, 5-3-1, typical bodybuilding, bro split, push pull legs. There's so many things you could be doing. It's information overload. So in the beginning, you do have to pick one thing and stick with it for a little bit. Doesn't make sense to program hop when you are just starting out. So I have another example for this, and it's martial arts. But wait, I thought we were talking about bodybuilding. Well, we are. But I want to bring this up because it's easy to picture. Starting a martial arts journey, you'll need to pick one style and run with it. And guess what? The style you pick doesn't matter. There's only so many ways you can strike and perform the takedowns. Now, to bring this back to strength and bodybuilding, just pick a program and run with it. Especially when first starting out. Just like in martial arts, you picked a style and ran with it. In doing so, you'll learn the basics and build the framework you'll need for a life worth lifting. So now you hold yourself to a new authority, and that authority is your own self-confidence and sufficiency. Here's another example that I have used my entire personal training / coaching career. And how long does a client need to be with me? Meaning, or in better words, if you have a client longer than about 3 years, what have they actually learned? Like why are they still with you? Now, you may not be a trainer or a coach yourself, but this is the same mindset you should hold yourself to, in my opinion. It's the mindset of the student to learn new things, excel at past things, reject what's not useful, and throw in a little bit of what's your own. This is similar to a Bruce Lee quote. I use martial arts for a lot of analogies and examples because it just hits home for me. Get it? Hits. So cheesy. A quick cutaway for this topic, though. I know some people lift or get into training for the companionship or the motivation someone else brings. I do get that. But still, there's been times that I have had to move locations and had to drop in-person clients. And I hope I train them well enough for them to start a program by themselves regardless. If they're the type of people needing motivation or a partner, doesn't matter. I hope they were, again, self-sufficient enough by that time they were with me to do their own thing. To practice what you learn as a student in your own life. To further myself along here, be the student in a world of followers. Show it to yourself that you can write your own programs, track your own progress, measure your own metrics, weigh your own food. It's a disservice to yourself in your lifting career to not make and perform your own programs or experiment with different diets, try new movement patterns. And you guys really don't need a leader or someone in an authority state to do that. For instance, Dorian Yates, a 6-time Mr. O in the 90s, never really had a coach. He learned everything himself. He experimented all this himself. I'm not here to speak on his behalf. All that info is online. You can find it. You don't need me to tell you all this. He's his own, amazing bodybuilder. He can tell you everything. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, if I listen to you and do this, am I doing what you're saying not to do? It's a very valid point, but no. After a certain point, you'll have to choose for yourself. A, to be a forever student, always learning, trying new things. Or B, you'll forever be a sale to someone who is always looking for the next best thing, someone who always needs an opinion. In your valiant quest, where do you think you're going wrong with this? What could be some potential downfalls with being a follower? Okay? And not so much someone who's willing to put in the work to learn and study. Okay? The pitfall is falling for charlatans. Okay? It's falling for the snake oil salesman. Okay? It's the type of advertisement that appeals to the masses for just sales. All right? So if someone is trying to sell you a program that's a 6-week summer shred or a 6-week get your bench from 200 to 350, okay, that should spark a red flag right there. If they have a specific time frame with specific numbers and specific parameters, for lack of a better term there, then it should be twisting gears in your head and throwing up red question marks in your brain. Like, who is this dude? Right? Again, we all know them. We've all seen them. We've all dealt with them. We've all questioned if their methods are real or not. And 9 times out of 10, you buy one program and then you're done. Like, you buy one of them, you run the 6 weeks, and you're like, didn't work for me. Now I got a program hop. So now you're stuck program hopping because you're trusting these people that are writing these easy to follow, easy BS programs. And now every 6 weeks to 8 weeks to 10 to 12, sometimes even 16-week programs, you got to keep hopping them. Okay? And it's not even new novelty stuff. It's generally the typical movements you can see everywhere. And if you already ran through a novice phase, you're already going to be way better at those movements, and your strength is going to be more than what probably those people prescribe anyway. That's what's funny about it. Because it's like, yeah, I have bought some of those ebooks that people promote, and I'm like, I can't even really implement it because I've just been training too long, and it's not a stimulus, or it's not novel to me. I've either done it through all my novice stuff, or it's just not. It just wasn't a fun time. And I could do it 1 or 2 days, and I'm like, I already know where it's going to go. Okay, but that takes practice. That takes years to develop. But I just want to hammer out that whenever you're first starting, you need to just pick something and run with it. Okay? That's the first essence of schooling, is picking something, picking an area and expertise, learning all you can from it, absorb it, learn it, discard what you didn't like, and add in something new. That's the basis of all the togetherness of humanity. Our union is all based on that premise right there. If you don't learn, if you don't discard, and you don't add something new, then you're not going to learn and grow. Okay? That's a red flag. Okay? If you're just picking stuff that everyone else has done to get the same results as everyone else, and no one else is getting good results, why do it? Why do that? It doesn't make sense. I would rather put myself through my own systems of trial and go from there. And if you know fundamentals of whatever you're studying, you can put those into your own parameters. So you can adjust your volume, frequency, intensity, however you want. If you want to try a few months of just higher intensity, see how you respond. Then try a few months of volume and see how you respond. Or try a few months of just frequency, like trying 6 times a week training and see what happens. That's okay. You are the experimenter. You're the scientist. It's up to you. That's what learning does for you. It gives you the power to put yourself in the state of mind to help yourself. It's what that does for you. There's more problems you could be having. And unfortunately, it's not from the external world. It's more than likely coming from your internal world. So, how well are you performing your programs? Can you take an honest look at yourself and what you've been doing to promote health and fitness, to build a better body, because that's what we're all here for? Whether it be, strength goals, whether it be aesthetic goals, maybe it's both, maybe it's powerlifting, maybe it's strongman, maybe it's CrossFit, but when it comes down to it, no matter what you do, no matter what program, I'm going to bring this back to martial arts real quick, no matter what style you pick, it's always the practitioner that makes it better, right? So if you are in martial arts and someone always asks you like, oh, what do you think of this style? What do you think of that one? Does it have pitfalls? Does it have pros? Does it have cons? If you're a good practitioner, you would say yes. Yes to all those things. It's always the person practicing that will make something better or not. Okay, I'm sure there's like a technical word for that, but it's true. So no plan, no program, no theory is perfect unless the person practicing it is doing it to a T, right? And that's what you got to ask yourself. That's another pitfall of this. If you're just being a follower, you're not getting in the right mindset of doing something to the best of your ability and your knowledge credentials starting out. It just is what that is. To bring this one to a nice little package, if you find yourself being a follower of just whatever may come your way, in my opinion, you should probably start stopping that. You should probably tell yourself, I need to look at what I'm doing and seeing if results are happening, and if they're not, ask why. Okay? If you're following a program and you're not seeing results, you need something to change. If you're a blind follower to something or someone, you won't ask yourself that question, right? You yourself need to be the judge and jury. You need to tell yourself when or when not to change a program or do something different. I think this can be, you can bridge this to normal life. You can bridge that to any arena of endeavor you would pick or do or have or whatever. So, my friends, read a book, open up pages, learn something new, follow advice, but don't be dogmatic. That would be my prescription, I guess, today. Nice little fun talk we've had here. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the content. Like and sub if you enjoyed the content. Much appreciated. It helps me out, of course, especially if you've gotten this far, like 10% of people do. Hopefully that gets higher. But I will be happy to see you guys in the next one.